How do I even do this, and why? What are the real benefits of making beef bone broth at home instead of just buying it from the store? We've all reached for those cartons of bone broth at the store. Convenient? Sure. But most of the time they're watered down, overly salty, and missing the richness that makes broth truly nourishing. Homemade bone broth, on the other hand, is packed with collagen, minerals, and nutrients that support gut health, joints, and immunity. Think of it as liquid gold, warming, restorative, and full of flavor. It's kind of like instant coffee versus a carefully brewed espresso. One gets the job done, the other transforms the entire experience. And if you've tried making it before, maybe you've run into this. Hours of simmering, and all you end up with is bland, greasy liquid. The most common mistake? People skip roasting the bones, or they crank the heat too high and end up boiling instead of simmering. But here's the catch. Broth isn't just about throwing bones in a pot of water. I start with good quality beef bones, preferably a knuckle bone for good collagen. Start by roasting your beef bones at 425 degrees until they're golden brown. This is what builds the deep, savory flavor. Next, add in your aromatics. Onions, carrots, celery, tomatoes. Nothing fancy, just the basics to build balance. Rough chop all the vegetables. They don't have to be pretty. They can go in skin and all. After a half hour or so of roasting, the bones can come out. Now it's time for the aromatics. Spread the aromatics sparsely across the roasted bones. Then spray with oil. Back to the oven they go for a little additional roasting, about another half hour. Cover the bones with cold water. It helps pull out all those minerals that are locked inside the bones. Bring everything up slowly to a gentle simmer, never a rolling boil. Skim off any foam that rises to the top. That's how you keep the broth clear. Now let it go, low and slow, for 10 to 12 hours. Strain, cool it down, and you're left with rich, golden broth that will actually jiggle once chilled. That's the collagen at work. And here's something most people don't realize. You don't need to simmer broth for 24 hours. In fact, too much time can actually make it bitter. The sweet spot for beef bones is 10 to 12 hours. That's long enough to extract maximum nutrition and flavor without crossing into overcooked territory. By the end, you'll have a broth that costs pennies per cup and is richer than anything you can buy in a store. And it can be used as a base for soups, sauces, gravies, or simply just sip straight out of a mug. Once completely cooled, remove the fat cap. You're left with wiggly, jiggly bone broth. Although it sounds simple, the secret is in layering your aromatics, controlling your heat, and giving it just the right amount of time. That's what turns cloudy soup into rich, clear broth that actually gels when it cools. So the next time you wonder if making bone broth at home is worth the effort, remember this: store-bought broth fills a recipe, but homemade transforms your health and your cooking. Try it once, and I promise you'll never go back. I've linked a printable recipe and my full guide in the description. And if you found this helpful, hit subscribe so you don't miss the next one.